John Lewis Report by Nathaniel Treadway. John Robert Lewis, born February 21st, 1940, was an American politician, statesman, civil rights activist, and leader who served in the United States House of Representatives for Georgia's 5th Congressional District from 1987 until his death in 2020. He attended the American Baptist Theological Seminary in Nashville, Tennessee, and was ordained a Baptist minister. He also earned a bachelor's degree from Fisk University. Mr. Lewis was one of the Big Six leaders and at 23 was the youngest to represent the SNCC with a speech at the August 23, 1963 March on Washington. Mr. Lewis was the chairman of the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee from 1963 to 1966, which campaigned against segregation and other forms of racism. Lewis was one of the original 13 Freedom Riders, which was a group of 7 blacks and 6 whites who rode buses from D.C. to New Orleans to challenge the policies of southern states along the route that imposed segregated seating on the buses, violating federal policy for interstate transportation. While in college, he participated in sit-ins at segregated restaurants in Nashville, Tennessee, which inspired others throughout the country to initiate sit-ins and protests at lunch counters. He fulfilled many key roles in the civil rights movement and its actions to help end legalized racial segregation in the United States. In 1965, Mr. Lewis led the first of 3 Selma to Montgomery marches across the Edmund Pettus Bridge. In an incident which became known as Bloody Sunday, state troopers and police attacked the marchers, including Mr. Lewis. He was arrested and jailed many times during attempts at desegregation and was a part of organizing bus boycotts and other nonviolent protests to support voting rights and racial equality. Mr. Lewis said it was important to engage in good trouble, necessary trouble, in order to achieve change, and he held by that phrase and philosophy throughout his life. He was dedicated to the discipline and philosophy of nonviolence, which he practiced for the rest of his life. On December 29, 2019, Mr. Lewis announced that he had stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and on July 17, 2020, at the age of 80, he died after a 6-month battle with the disease. Although Mr. Lewis is no longer with us in person, his work, memory, and nonviolent fight still lives on, as it has paved the way for many of the luxuries we enjoy today. May we remember him as he fought for our rights, and may we continue to fight as the war is not over.